Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to talk about a much requested topic, and it is these little tiny mounts that I have going on in the greenhouse here. I've touched base on them a few times just in comments and maybe even in the videos. I really like them. They're awesome little mounts. I can take no credit for them. I'm going to say that right away. This is not my design at all. A member of my Orchid Society, a friend of mine, Alexi, has made these, and he has graciously shown us how to make them, and I thought I would share that knowledge with you guys. So last night I came up with the materials and had my first attempt at making one of these, and I wanted to just show my results to you and show you guys how to make them as well. So they are a super cool orchid mount. Essentially a basket with mesh around the outside edge. Stuff it with whatever media you want. Totally versatile there. You attach the orchid to the outside of it, and the roots grow in, and it hangs horizontal like a mount, so like this. And all the plants that I have ever got from my friend there have done really well, and most of them come on these little basket things. So yeah, that is sort of what they look like, and I just wanted to show you a few that I have growing to give you an idea of how they work and what they look like in case you are just joining us for this topic here. Really cool though. That one is an Oncidium that is in spike. Here is my Epidendrum. I did a video on this guy not too long ago. He started as just like a few little pieces on this mount and has grown to this in a short while. So been really successful. I did add a piece of plastic to the back of this one. I do find these guys dry out pretty fast, so the plastic just was one less direction that it could dry out from. It kind of makes the roots sink back in, looking for the moisture a little bit more. But otherwise, yeah. And I also have one that's round like this, so that is kind of cool as well. Tubular. I'm not sure that it makes a whole lot of difference whether it's round or not. But I realized when I was making these for the first time yesterday that you can be really versatile with these. These don't have to be these shapes at all. They can be whatever you want them to be. Here is the last one I'm going to show you. So those are the four that I have. Again, I put a little piece of plastic on the back of this one, and it seems to hold a little bit more moisture than, say, the Oncidium that dries out quite quickly. But I love them because they're just so versatile. And all you'll do after is you attach the orchid to the mount. You can see some little wires there. That was from before I got it. It had this little piece along the bottom here, and that's where he had attached the plant with little wires. And yeah, it's grown from there. If you have to empty the media out, you really just have to be kind of careful and pull it back out and put new media back in, not unlike a pot. But being they dry so fast and they're sort of mount-like, they do last a lot longer than a pot of media anyways. I haven't had them long enough to have to worry about transplanting them, so we'll see how that goes another time. But now that I've shown this to you of what they look like, why don't I show you how to actually make these guys. Okay, so this is going to be total simple. It's going to kind of blow your mind on how cheap these things are to make. Leaf gutter guard. I got it at Home Depot yesterday. It was $6. This material is a little bit harder to find. This time of year being winter, could only come up with a white instead of black, which kind of sucks because I like black a lot better. This material can be any sort of material like this that's an open sort of weave or open mesh. What this is I used to call it furnace foam or furnace filter foam. Comes in a big roll. It's just bulk, and you cut it off as needed. This piece here, it was just sold by the square foot, and it cost me about $5 for the whole thing, and you need tiny amounts of it, so it doesn't cost a whole lot. But I couldn't find this in a hardware store. I had to actually go to a specialty store, and this is actually a koi filter material for a koi pond, for a koi filter, just the coarse white. They have coarse black and fine black in the summertime as well, and I think the fine black would have worked really nicely, but being it is the dead of winter and there's not much in the way of filtering materials out there for me, all the pond shops, not pond, but all the pond shops where you buy koi and fish have basically shut down for the winter. They're not selling a whole lot, so this was hard material to find. But it doesn't have to be this exact material. As I say, in the old days, I think you would have gone to like Home Depot and bought like a roll or off the roll a piece of furnace filter foam and been done with it. So this, I don't even know how many feet are in this. It was huge. It's 20 feet long by 6 inches. And as I say, it was $6. So there's about $11 worth of material in front of you. And then the last thing that you're going to need to put it all together is a hot glue gun. So now that you know what the ingredients are, it's probably just coming together in your head really easily as to how we can do this. But I'm still going to walk you through it. I'm not actually going to make one because I got to heat up the glue gun, and it takes a little bit of time for the hot glue to dry before you move on to the next stage. And I don't want to bore you with that because it is just so simple to do once you know how to do it. I'm just picking up the material off the ground here. So I cut myself a little strip of this, and just enough to be able to glue and hold in the media and stuff like that around the edges. I cut myself a couple pieces of, we'll call it basket now, of the leaf guard material. And so these I cut at the same shape as the last ones that you just saw. And I just cut 2 pieces, put them together, and then with with a pair of scissors, just cut the angle so they were exactly the same like that. All you need to do is take your material here, and I have pre-measured this so I know it's the exact length I need it to be, and you would just put it on like so here. Let me just put the camera down a little bit more, and with the hot glue gun you would just sort of tack it in place. Okay, so you turn it upside down or put a little dot here and a little dot there, and it's just enough to hold it temporarily. And you're going to work your way around, and it's a little bit tedious, takes a bit of time for the hot glue to dry. And you can see why I would rather this have been black material than white material, but it is what it is. And once that's on there, then you would of course tack the other side on, and we're just tacking it for now. And what it does is just by tacking it, the glue dries really fast, and then after you're able to, and this I'm going to bring up the one that I made last night. This one's a little bit smaller because I didn't actually use the ones you saw as a model. Once they're tacked in place, then you want to heavily glue down the line. Really get it in there good so it goes right on top of all the material and soaks right into the mesh here. And keep going all the way around. And then you kind of got to wait for it to dry. Hot glue is it's easy to work with. So, and then do the other side, of course. And once they are together, that is one of the ones I made last night. So it's sort of a smaller basket than this one by a little bit, not by much. I'll add the metal hooks, just wire to the back here. Fill it with whatever material I want, some sphagnum moss, some perlite, stuff like that. And then I'll be able to attach my plant to the front of it. And it will work just great. I also did this one here. I'm just getting the other one here. I did one of the tubular ones as well. And for this, all I did was take the material itself and didn't cut it in any way other than to cut the length I wanted. A small strip of this, tacked it on, glued it heavily. Once I could see the diameter of the bottom, I cut a piece that was round, shoved it in, glued it heavily around there, and yeah, I'll be able to add hooks to that. And there's sort of a cylinder or a log. When I was making this log, because other than the size of the material itself that you're working with, which is only 6 inches wide, you could make a log like this that's fatter, or a bowl. Or I was thinking it would be cool to like cap it, like fill it with media and cap this end as well, and hang it from the top. So you have like a hanging log sort of thing, like horizontal, and your plant would grow on the top of it and kind of work its way down and underneath maybe. Yeah, once you sort of have this design principle or the way it's made, I think it would be really cool and really easy to make some of these in all kinds of shapes and sizes, and it literally costs pennies to do. Like, as I say, it was $11 for all the material. I've already made 2 out of it. I've already actually made 3 because technically I've used all the material I need to make 3. I haven't put a dent in what I actually bought. I've maybe used 2.5 feet of the 20 feet of the roof leaf guard and a fraction of the $5 worth of foam So yeah, there we go. I think you have all the tools you need to make some really cool stuff. I think in the summertime I'm going to track down some of this, but in black. It will just make it that much nicer, I think. Here again to show you the finished product, what they look like. So my design is not exactly the same. Again, I'm not sure where Alexi found this, if this was his own creation or he found it somewhere as well. But we didn't sort of get into the details there, but his black material is a little different than mine. But either way, what are you going to do? This will still work just fine. All it's meant for is holding the media in. So yeah, there we go. Orchid Mount 101, how to make your own orchid mount basket in any shape or size that you want for just pennies, really. So why don't you, if you're going to try this at home, try it. I would love to see your results. Find my Facebook page, Brad's Greenhouse Facebook page. There's a link to it in the description. And if you make one of these, post a picture of it. I'd love to see what they look like. I'd love to get some other ideas for shapes and sizes and how it's done. So other than that, I hope you like this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thanks for watching.